our first review, which is Toast. What do you have for us?
Speaking of $41,000 robbery,
Oh yeah, how else? How are you putting food on the table?
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So your series is?
Did you know the first day of spring, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. For the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere is Friday, March 20th at 10:46 a.m. Yeah. What's the opposite of spring?
Fall. It's not winter. If you thought it was winter, it's not winter.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah, and you know what happens in autumn?
What?
The leaves
Rains.
die.
Yeah,
Leaves fall off of
exactly. See,
trees.
dog gets it.
Okay.
Autumn is a season of grief and death.
I
Yeah.
That's
guess.
usually
I mean,
winter, right?
Halloween.
Yeah.
That's usually winter.
Yeah, and did you know on Saturday today is also Samhain? Is it how do you pronounce it? Samhain? That's gets Celtic, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's Samhain in Mabinogi right now. Yeah.
All right, what's your series, Toast?
I'm getting there, man. Leave me alone.
Are you?
And did you know in Mabinogi we have these Samhain events and it's all about ghosts and dead people and whatnot. Yeah. Speaking of ghosts and dead people, you like money?
Do.
What the fuck? Is this gonna go into the Day of the Dead kind of the reference here? What's happening?
Huh? Yeah. No. You like money? Who doesn't like money?
I guess we're good with money.
Would you play a game of death on the death day of Saturday for money?
Probably not.
Okay, then you're out. How about you, Near?
What?
Would you play a death game on Saturday on the day of death for money?
Probably not. To be
Oh, you're out too.
completely
How about
honest
you,
with you.
Dark?
Nah. I've seen Squid Game. I know how that ends.
Well,
Yeah.
I would.
I do kind of
I
like
love
being
money
alive, so
and death games. I love Battle Royale. What's my series called again? Yeah, that's as good enough as you'll get it.
So, what's your series, Toast?
Oh, it is my series.
Yeah, Shiboyugi.
Fushigi Yugi. I love Fushigi Yugi.
All right. Well, Toast series is Shiboyugi playing death games to put food on the table. Do you know which studio is from?
Studio D.
Oh God.
Yippee.
Well, Steam has definitely improved a lot
Oh
since
yeah, name one improvement.
the. What do you mean? Name
Name
one
one thing
improve.
that's
What the
improved
fuck are you
about
talking about?
Dean, bro. One
Yeah.
single thing.
One single thing. But yeah,
Ninja versus
it's definitely
what
been
is
a
this?
little bit better. Since obviously since their infamous Face Stay Night days, right?
Hey man,
But
looking back, it's great. But yeah, name one good Studio Dean thing that recent. You can't say what is it, Orphan? You can't say Orphan or Remonster. I won't let you.
did
Precure.
they do? They did Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, right?
What the heck is
I
that?
think.
Was it them?
Speak in
Yeah, I think it
English.
was, right?
They did at least season 2 of it. I don't know whether that still
Yeah.
held up. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, they've
that
had
is.
okay series in the last like 10 years or so, I think.
I will say though that Studio Dean is out of the pic. If you told me this was a Studio Dean anime, I would, and I wouldn't believe you at all. And that's a very good positive note. But yeah, so okay. I guess I'll start. So it's about this girl named Yuki, only named Yuki, and she loves death games. And
What do you
she
mean
does
by
it.
that?
She loves
What,
death
is,
games.
what does
She
How
that
does
mean?
she love them?
Like an
Like,
assassin? Is she like
she participates in all the death games because it puts food
what
on
the
the table.
fuck?
Like, I mean, basically, it's her job. She's like, I love death games and whatnot and whatnot.
So
Yeah,
what is she like a spy? What is she?
no, she just
is this
loves
just
death
this is just like
games.
a world? This is just a world that has multiple
Her,
death
She's
games.
like a professional death game doer. Like, is that an actual thing?
I guess, yeah, because in here, death games is like a job. But her,
Okay,
yeah, her
okay,
goal
okay,
is she
okay.
wants to complete 99 death games. I don't know why
What the
99.
fuck?
It's a really weird number, and I think it's a negative thing. But yeah, she loves death games. Did you guys, so before the podcast started, I asked you guys to watch episode 1. Did you watch episode 1? No? Okay, good.
Yeah, I
No.
skimmed through episode 1. It was kind of
Good
like
through this
Aquaman a
guy.
riddle. Yeah.
This guy. All right, but yeah. So basically, most of what I'm going to talk about is about episode 1 because, yeah. I'll just pretty much summarize episode 1. So episode 1 starts, yeah. And then there's Yuki, and then a bunch of other chicks. They're all color coded.
Yeah, again, it's
I
like
forgot their
Aquaman a
names.
riddle. Sort kind of like that. But they're all like in maid uniforms.
Okay, so it's for episode 1, it starts off as Yuki's 28th death game, right? Yeah. So
Hmm.
and then there's a bunch of characters. So she wakes up and then she meets the other cast. Benia, she's the redhead chick. Momono, this the pink hair chick. I gave you that picture right, Dark. This is the cast I'll be talking about.
Yeah.
And then Kokuto, she's the black haired chick. Aoi, the blue haired chick, and then Kinko, the you want to call her golden hair? Is it Keen, the yellow haired chick?
Blonde? Blonde?
No,
Oh, okay, Kinko.
Yeah, Keen, I guess. Yeah, sure.
I
but yeah.
mean,
That's true.
it is pretty yellow.
So yeah, there's the cast, and then Yuki's like, "Damn, do you guys know what you're up to?" And they're like, some of them are like, "Oh, I'm here as a repeater because I love money, and death games make money." And then another one goes, "Oh, I'm here to pay my debt, my dad's debt." And another one's like, "Oh, I got kidnapped and I got roped into this by mistake." And so they're all
Okay.
it's all there, the various reasons why they're all joining a death game and whatnot. So, they all have their own reasons for joining the death game, whether they was willingly or not. Then Yuki's like, all right, since this is my 28th death game, here are the rules. It's probably a bunch of people are probably gonna die. That's the sacrifice I'm willing to make. 70% of you
Oh, he
might
gives them.
die.
She gives them like advice, like kind of
A
like
pep
general,
talk, a pep
like how
talk.
it kind of
And
pans.
and then she's all like, all right, I will do any. I like people who survive, so I will help anyone. I'll try to I'll try to help everyone survive. But the moment you guys are not useful to me, I'll kill you myself and whatnot.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then they do various death game. So it's called Ghost House. So they're all
Yeah.
dressed a specific way and whatnot. And then they're exploring the house. I will mention that like the way they do the passage of time in this series is pretty unique. So it's like at the beginning, it's like either 0 out of 33 or 1 out of 33. And as like scenes progress, they keep going up in number until the final scene, which is like 33 out of 33. So what do you call that? Like a slideshow or like VN style thing where you can see the amount of slides before the game ends. That's the way they
Yeah,
do like
it's like a countdown. They actually do call it like countdown, I think.
yeah,
Like,
they
yeah.
do it in like a time progression thing. I think that's pretty unique. So
Hmm.
yeah, stuff
Yeah, that's
happens
true.
and they're like, "Oh, we got to get out." Like stuff happens and Yuki's pretty experienced, so she leads everyone on how to do the thing. I don't want to spoil the first episode too much because hot take. I think this first episode is one of the strongest like first episodes of any anime I've ever seen in a long time. It's like perfectly condensed. It, it's like a perfectly condensed slice of what this series is going to be like. If you told me this was just like an O and A or like an OVA for just this series alone, I would have believed you because I don't know. Like I said, this is like perfectly condensed. start to end of what one death game in this series is like, and it's
Mhm.
really good. The thing. So yeah, stuff happens. Whatever. Some people die. Um, I will say though that the way they handle gore in this series is pretty unique. Spire, did you
It's
get to that
mainly
part?
cutaways, right? Because it's like
No, kinda. No.
it kind of is because it's like well they
So
show some parts of it, but it's
the
like the
thing
main part they don't show. It's like
the thing is, I
uh,
don't know. Maybe because like these death games are they're broadcast throughout throughout Japan or the whole world, I guess, and so there are people betting. And
mhm.
since everyone watches it, they want to make sure everyone is able to watch it. So the gore in this series, for some reason, is it's kind of like the Danganronpa style, where
I was gonna say, is it
blood is not
pink?
red, it's pink. No, they do it in a different way. Um,
Yeah,
so when there's like grievous injuries or blood flying about, it turns into cotton and like
Huh.
in a way. So they call it, what is it called? They call it a preservation treatment. I don't know. You could just hand wave it. It's basically their blood is modified so it like turns into cotton when it makes contact with air.
yeah.
So it's
It's
kind of
like
weird in a way. Like
it's kind of like how Chinese games have like blood censored or stuff like that. So it's like it
Oh, wait,
looks
so you're
like, for
you're
instance,
saying
white or
though that
whatever.
this is like a physical like thing, like in the show itself? Like
yeah,
it
they
basically like
mentioned that it's
seals the wound effectively?
it's called preservation treatment. So like if a character gets injured in a way, there's no blood. It just like turns into cotton. Like there's this one character that tries to like that stabs her neck, and like you see it instant. There's like a little it's a little red, but then it turns immediately turns into cotton. It's kind of weird in a way. I guess this is how they censor it in quotes, so that everyone can watch it. But like in a weird kind of way, it's a bit more, what is it,
Horrific,
macabre.
like
It's a
horror.
bit more macabre in a way because it
Yeah,
makes the players seem like they're not really human at all, but they're like more like, I guess you can call them like dolls, because it's like
they're
their
stuck. They're
stuffing's
stuck
coming
in
out.
that sort of like game. Yeah, playthings in a
Yeah.
game.
I will say though that this for overall it's a positive for the players because I will say like there's a lot of limbs and other stuff being cut off, and like
Yeah,
instead
it's
of
like there's like that one saw scene or whatever in episode one, right? So it's like
so instead of
essentially,
like people bleeding out, since their wounds automatically turn to cotton in a way, they're able to survive like grievous wounds that most people won't like survive otherwise by bleeding out. So they're still
Mhm.
able to participate in the game. It's kind of weird like that. But like I said, in a way, it's kind of macabre. It makes them not really seem human and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and
But
they
yeah,
still undergo like the mental trauma as well. So it's like,
it still hurts, but like
I was gonna say, can they
it's
even
their blood that
like reattach their limbs though? Because like if they can't do that, then
who
they're still a
knows.
bit shit out of luck.
I will say though, like some stuff happens, and some characters they're shown to have like limbs later on. So they're either reattached or maybe they get cool. You know what? I'll just say it. One of them gets cool augments, so they can keep playing. They get cool robot arms or a doll arm in a way. But yeah. So overall, it's Yuki plays a game. The one in the first episode is the 28th game. I guess it's her most recent game. And then the next couple episodes, I think from 2 to 4 or 5, they show the 10th game. So but the
oh,
reason
it's
for showing the
working back
10th
up
game,
into like the present. Is that what's
the
happening?
reason for showing the 10th game is to like I guess highlight some characters that will appear later on because like I said, you can make a living off of these death games. So
Hmm.
then after that, it shows the immediate game. They skip one game, I guess. Like the Ghost House in episode 1 is 28th, and then there's 29, and then I guess for the rest of the series that I've watched, it's the main ones like the 30th death game, death game. What is it called? Golden Bath. Whatever. Yeah. So yeah, it's about about a character. She plays death games for money, and people die. But you know what? Who cares? Money. Yeah.
But most of like the series is just mainly about like the death games and stories that happened before, and then how like
Now the tenth, like
Yuki
I
and the
said,
others developed, or what?
the 10th one, it was just to show off a major character that's going to appear later on. So like,
Hmm.
and then episode was 28, and then the rest of the series is like the 30th death game. They mentioned that the 30th death game is where there's like what they call it, the wall of 30, where a lot of experienced players start to get fatigued or whatnot. So they're hoping that,
Oh, okay.
like, oh, you've played 30 death games. How's your mental power? Like, oh, it's starting to wane because I'm fatigued from all these games. So I guess that's
Right.
why they highlighted the 30th.
Hmm.
Oh, that's all. That's about the main crux of the story that I'll mention so far. But overall, actually, I will say that this series pretty good, pretty good.
So
I
is the
expect.
is the focus of the series on the games, or is it like each of the girls like introspections, or like what, like, or Yuki's introspection, or what?
So in each game, I guess you can call them a rotating cast because some characters die, some survive, some might appear later on, but Yuki's
Hmm.
the main constant because she's the main character. And the way they handle these games is that the pacing is molasses slow. Like I mentioned that I mentioned that there's only been three death games that I've been up to so far. Like the first episode from start to finish, that's one death game, and it was paced really well. Then the second episode
Hmm.
is 2 to 5. That's another death game that's slow. And then like this third death game is like 4 to 5 episodes long. I don't even remember.
How many episodes is this entire
This is
series? It's 12, right?
is it 12 or 11?
Yeah. If it's 12, so it's only gonna have like three main It's gonna have a second season, I was assuming,
I
right?
hope
At
it's the
that
second
point.
season because this
Okay.
is. But
I
yeah,
was about to say like,
so the main focus of the series is not really about the death games, is really. It's a lot more about. They say it's it's a lot more. It's a lot more deep and mind. What is it? Tickles your mind about life and death and all that and whatnot. So like the
is
games are
it
pretty the
is there
games
a
are
lot
pretty
of
basic.
exploration in there, like, oh, like, why are we in these games, or like
So
what am I doing it, or is
so
it
the
like a
death
Truman
games
Show kind of thing, or
themselves,
what?
death games
Hmm.
themselves is not very. Uh, they're not very described in detail. Like
Hmm.
the first one, if you watch the first one, Ghost House, a lot of the stuff is skipped. Like, oh, here's a death trap, and here's another death trap, and this thing happens. And a lot of the focus on the episode on the anime is a lot more about the characters and their and like how Yuki and the others deal with like this situation. It's a lot more
Hmm.
introspective, like focused on the characters and their personalities and why they're participating in this death game. You know, because it's a lot more
Yeah, I like
character
their background
driven.
expositions. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's on Yuki and why is she participating in this death game, or like these death games, and like, why is she doing this?
Hmm.
It's it's very VN styled, where a lot of the monologue is from the inside of Yuki's mind, and like why is she doing this, and how is she interacting with these other characters and whatnot.
Hmm.
And so the death game isn't really the focus. It's more of an introspective on Yuki and the nature of a death game and the theme of this death game and whatnot. So yeah, this is not what I expected because I just want cool death games. but the death games in this one are
This
really
one's the battle
slow.
royale.
I will say though that contrary to popular belief, or my contrary to my old opinions, where oh I prefer battle royales compared to survival games and
Hmm.
whatnot. Like I just want characters fighting. And this one, it's the opposite. I prefer them to have like a survival game. It's like how will these characters handle this situation
Hmm.
and whatnot compared to like just fighting? Because this series isn't just about fighting. It's more of like it's more a thinking man's genre, you know?
How much sort of you know how it's like a lot of these a constant running thing shtick with the battle royale is like I'm gonna betray the other guy and then he's gonna betray the next guy and then blah blah blah, right? How much of that sort of like betrayal intrigue kind of thing is emphasized in this story?
So for most of the battle royales, I mean, I'll just start off with like the main battle royale, I guess.
Hmm.
What's the name of the dude in battle royale? Or what is it? Alice in Wonderland? What's it called? What's the what's the other one? Alice in Borderland, I guess.
Oh, Alice in Borderland. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Alice in Borderland. You know how the main character is his name is Arisu or whatever, and he's like this
Yeah.
guy who has a strong sense of justice and whatnot. He's like, oh, or he's pretty naive, and he's like, oh, we must work together in order to survive the games. And when something bad happens, they can't take it all that well. Like the basic main protagonist of a death game and whatnot.
Hmm.
They have this like heroic nature. Yuki's not like that at all. She does say that, oh, I want to help people survive and whatnot because it benefits me. It makes me look good for the viewers.
Hmm.
But she does mention immediately that like if you do something that's detrimental to me, I will cut you down like
Hmm.
immediately, and I will just dispose of you and whatnot. So
Does she
she's
show any
pretty
sort of forms of affection or anything like that throughout the episodes? Like any growing forms of affection?
like when characters get like brutally maimed and
Hmm.
still survive through the preservation treatment, she's the one who's like, all right, I'll strap you on my back. You got no legs, then Lieutenant Dan, don't worry, I'll carry you. She's the one who she'll carry people and she'll give them a pep talk like, hey, you gotta live, that kind of
Hmm.
thing. Because like she said, it looks good for her, and the more people survive, the more beneficial it is in general for everyone else.
Oh, right,
But
because it's a survival thing, not a battle royale.
yeah, like that's why I said like I prefer the survival stuff over the
Hmm.
battle royale stuff. Because every man for themselves, not that interesting. It's like, oh, it's a lot more interesting when more people survive. These saw death traps, so they can work together to solve stuff.
Hmm.
But like I said, like I mentioned earlier, like it's the moment she sees someone like in her way or is like trying to be a detriment to everyone, she's like, screw this, I'm out. And then she's pretty pragmatic like that.
There's a
I'm
little
like,
bit more of like she's not like looking over necessarily, but like she's obviously participating in the death game, but the anime is also from the perspective of like she's kind of chronicling like how these death games are panning out and how these different kids are like these different like participants in the death game are reacting, right?
what was that? I dropped my phone.
Uh,
Hmm?
so she's obviously participating in the death game, but she's also like this anime is from her perspective of like she's kind of almost chronicling how these different death games are and like how these different participants react as well,
Yeah,
right?
because we
Hmm.
got the varied cast. So like, oh, I'm too scared. Like, oh, I don't want to die. I'm too scared. And like, oh, I will betray you in order to survive. And we get the whole cast of those characters and all of those. But yeah, but it's sh- she's like she's like season two Squid Game guy compared to everyone else. Like she knows what's up and she's trying to help people,
Yeah,
but if they're in their
I've
way, she's like,
played this game
whatever,
before.
man, get out of my
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like like in one of the episodes where they're all grouped together, and this one character like, "Oh, I'll be the leader. I don't believe that you played 10 games." And she's like, "Hey, I'll give you advice. Like, we shouldn't go this way." And then something bad happens, and she's like, "Whatever, man. Get out of my like, whatever. I'm out of here." And she leaves the
Yeah.
party.
Okay.
So yeah, I like her as a character because she's very pragmatic. She's a bit of a psychopath, but she does think that helping people to saving them is for the greater good. But the
In a
moment
sense, she's
you
kind of
show
like this
weakness.
is this the way the story is set up is kind of like it's like the girl doing like the traveling like from place to place, right? Or the protagonist doing like the journey from place to place, like Majin Tabi Tabi or Kin Tabi or whatever. But instead of doing the journey and like seeing these different people, right? She's seeing different groups of people in the death games, right? She goes to one death game, she plays it, she sees the group of people, she goes to another kind of group, death game, and so on. That's sort of it's like a variant of that, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever. So I guess I'll go over the cast.
Mhm.
I'll only go over the cast of the first episode because, like I said, there's a death game. So you got a
Yeah, there's a lot
rotating
of
group,
people.
I guess. So the main character Yuki is voiced by Chiyuki Miura. Who's this? I don't know. Who are you? What have you done? She's Onion in Pokemon. Who's Onion?
Oh,
The
she
the
no, okay. No, I mean,
the
yeah,
ghost
she's like
the,
this
the
is
ghost dude from Sword and Shield. Onion. What else? I don't see many
yeah,
interesting.
she has like one or two roles in uh oh, what is God, I'm so bad with Blue
Judo. I didn't
Archive.
watch the judo one. I don't play Blue Archive. I only
Oh,
know
she
Saori.
so yeah. She does like one of the girls in Blue Archive. I guess that's
Okay,
like
yeah.
one of her
A
probably main
lady at
roles.
the fruit and vegetable store in what is this? In Gushing Over Magical Girls. Wow, cool role.
Yeah.
Okay,
But yeah, it's probably most the
I
Blue
guess.
Archive that was her breakout role.
Whatever. Kinko's voiced by Inori Minase.
Hmm.
Yeah, who's that?
Most of these other
That's Rem,
characters
right?
are pretty much like big relatively veteran voice actresses.
That's Rem,
Takatatsu
right?
Aina,
From
Sato Haruka, so on.
yeah, Reina Motomura is Aoi, the blue one. Kokuto is Haruka Sato. Who
Mhm.
else? Yeah, Rina Kawaguchi is Momono. And who's Benny? Benny is Mutsumi tomorrow. Because like I said, I'm only naming first episode characters because that's cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
rotating cast. But I
Yeah.
guess let's get to the meat and bones of this. What I wanted to talk about. So I mentioned earlier that this is a Studio Dean anime,
Mhm.
but it does not look like a normal Studio Dean anime.
Oh
It's
yeah, the visuals look pretty wild.
I
It's like
yeah, I posted some screenshots like earlier. I was like, "Oh, that is what the main. That is like the main crux of how this series looks."
Mm,
So you get the close up of the characters' main faces, like when they're speaking and when they're in the center of the role. But once there's multiple characters, they're all conversing with each other. It
mhm.
can They get these. I don't know. I'm not an art major. How do they call this? Like Dark, you can pull up the first picture that I posted if you want. What do you call this art style? It's like lineless art style in a way. It's pretty unique where all the characters like lose their heavy lines that show them, and they're just these. What is it? Minimalistic shapes? What do you want to call it? I don't know. What do you guys call
Cutouts.
it? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cutouts, and they're cutouts. Like they don't have eyes, and it's just their figures. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty unique way to put it in a way.
Mm.
Like, Doc, did you put out the picture?
I can
Yeah,
try.
yeah. It's a pretty cool way to do the series. And then, like for some other ways, like when there's when there's a scene change or when there's an action, like when they're eating, when Yuki's all like, oh, eating what it calls macarons, and everyone and someone's like, hey man, aren't those poisonous macarons? Because this is a death game. She's like, nah, nah. They're not that stupid. It's not that entertaining if you die from a poison macaron. It's just food, and then it shows them eating the macaron. It's like these screens. What is these? Like a what do you call
Like
these? What do you
they're
call these
almost
photos?
like, yeah. I
Kodak photos. What is it then
No,
where
oh,
you
like a
take a photo?
Polaroid? Yeah, like a couple
Yeah,
of
that's
Polaroid,
what
but they're not really. I
Polaroids
mean,
of.
they're more so. These are more so just like, what would you call these? Like almost like square like prints on top of a
Yeah, it's like
canvas,
Paper
like type
Mario
thing.
almost. Like yeah,
Like
like
Yeah, and then what? And then when Yuki's eating a macaron and someone's like, "Hey, if she's eating it, I'll eat it," and then they steal it. That's another thing that I posted. Yeah, some of these abstract transitions are like that. I get my main vibe is it's very a Monogatari-esque vibe, like it's a Shaft-esque style of scene transitions,
mm,
and I'm like, this is not the way I expect this from a Dean anime. So I had to look it up. It's for the director is someone called Sota Ueno. Very cool. And
have they done anything else before?
this is their
It's like
second this is their second major series that they've done. Um, so
the other one
what was
is Days with My Stepsister. What the fuck? Okay.
did
Oh,
anyone cover that? I didn't cover that. Uh,
I think we saw it in the preview, but nobody covered it. I think. But they did also work on Fairy Gone, which was like okay at the beginning. And then let's see this. Yeah, Sasakito
yeah,
Miyano,
I might
so
have to
on.
check out. Might have to check out Days with was it Days with My Girlfriend, Days with My Stepsister,
Days with My
What's that?
Stepsister. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because this art style and the way they direct this series is way different from what I expected. It's not your typical anime, like oh, not. It's like there's a lot of negative space. A bunch of these scenes are just like Yuki walking, but she's like walking in complete darkness, and she has like the lineless art. She's walking through stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like I said, the best way I can really describe it with my limited knowledge is very Shaft slash Monogatari-esque. Maybe Sayonara Zetsuba Sensei. Um,
Yeah,
right near.
and even like the standard like art style that's portrayed in the series is like quite interesting. It's quite different, I think, from
Yeah,
their
like
regular fare.
I looked it up. There's a bunch of tweets that saying like, "Oh, he's the best up and coming director," and I'm like, I mean, I'd have to agree. This is some really wild art direction they're going with this, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, hey man, damn dude, I did not expect from this at all. So yeah, like I have nothing but praises for like the director because it's pretty cool. Definitely not what I expected. I looked at some other stuff. Like people are saying that the way this director edited or directed this episode is way better than the source material. It's like, and I'm like, I guess the source material is just like basic isekai death game like light novel stuff, but the way they did it is really really cool. So yeah, like props to Soto Ueno. I don't know. I have limited knowledge in art direction, whatever.
Yeah,
Near like
but definitely, even when I just saw the first episode, it was very like interesting. It was definitely again, I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, clearly it's just like, Dean was crap before and now it's like suddenly, spring has come. But I think, yeah, it was definitely heads and tails above what I would expect from like a standard series. I don't know how much budget they had either, but it was quite good.
it's hey man, it's Dean. What do you expect? And Dean and this is like a new director.
Yeah. And yeah, they pulled out the one of the outside directors, but yeah, I'm hoping he keeps going and does try some other stuff as well. So
And I guess another thing I have to mention that like there's I guess that's the art design. I'm done with that. It looks really cool. And then the sound design, it's very minimalesque. Very minimalesque.
hmm.
It's like I don't
There's just
remember any.
not much.
There's
Yeah.
no major songs. It's just all background noise of the characters walking and talking, and then like
Yeah.
very subtle pianos like here and there. You
Which also
know,
makes it a little bit more unnerving when it's like when the bad scenes are about to happen.
yeah, it's the way. Like I said, though, the way they do this is really well done. There's no like loud like music tracks or anything. It's very subtle, like piano and here and there. Is it? What's the word?
Mhm.
Ambiance. I want to call it ambiance. I'll call it ambiance. Yeah, it's like very ambiance-esque music. And you know what? That's really helps, you know,
It's a good tone setter.
really help. Yeah,
Oh, so you were
it's
looking
just
for the word
overall really good.
ambient. We're close though.
Yeah, ambient music is very good. Like, even though the episodes are so slow, it's like when I watch these, it's pretty nerve-wracking, and that's like a huge positive in a way.
Mhm.
You know, you're on the edge of your seat the whole time because it's like, oh, you don't know what's gonna happen next, and it's something always eerie about it. I don't know. What else do I want to talk about? I don't know. Yeah. Overall, these are some fantastic visuals that overall the series pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I recommend oh, what's my rating? Oh, opening ending. Like I mentioned, the opening's probably the one of the best opening this season by far. I'm not joking.
Okay.
Yeah. What's
All
wrong,
the
Near? You
cars.
disagree?
I think you're
All the
crazy,
I
cars.
but all
I
right.
do kind of disagree. I kind of disagree with you, but
Why, Near?
because there's
So
nothing
the
going on. There's literally nothing happening. There's like nothing to the visuals. The track is like pure instrumental, like piano. It's like it's like
the
it
cars.
is.
The cars,
Yeah, and
near.
it's a
The
yeah,
cars.
Near.
vibe. It's a
Yeah,
vibe,
Near.
but it's like
The
for
opening
me, I need a
is
little bit something more than that from an opening.
Yeah.
the opening is called Ersterbend. It's German, I guess. But it's performed in quotes by Lynn from Mad Kid. And I say it's the best opening ever because there's literally no lyrics in the opening. It's just
Huh.
vibes, man. Vibes and the cool highway. I mean, if you look it up, I posted a link to these guys. I showed them. Isn't it great? It's fantastic. And then the ending song is a regular ending song. It's a Inori by Chie Fujikawa.
Mhm.
Who are you? What have you done? Digimon? I don't know. Okay, Digimon. The end, the ending for the 2020 Digimon Adventure reboot. I will say though
Oh, okay,
the opening is much better. Cool vibes, man. Cool vibrations.
okay.
But yeah, overall the series, I thought it would be funny, haha, death games, because I picked it because it had a funny title. But I'm pleasantly surprised that there's some heart and soul put into this, man. For an
I mean, I'm glad.
adaptation of a
And even like the story aside, just like the visuals itself is definitely something I think that can be appreciated with this series at least.
yeah, that director, I'll keep an eye on you for now. I maybe want to check out the other series. What's it called? Stepsister? Yeah.
Uh, Days with My Stepsister or
Days
something
with
like
the
that, I
Step.
think. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it also this season?
No, I believe it
Was
was
the
a couple
last
of
season?
seasons ago.
Oh
I
yeah.
think.
Well, it makes me want to go back and check what he's been up to with that series because
Oh yeah, for sure.
this is pretty good. So,
Yeah.
are they better than Akiki Shinbo and Makoto Shinkai? You know what? I will say yes. I think they're hacks. I think they're hacks, Near. What are you gonna do about it? Oh yeah. Enough glazing this series. Overall, I'm gonna give this actually a solid 9 out of 10. My
Yeah,
only
that's
gripe,
pretty good.
yeah, like my only real gripe is it's pretty nonsensical with the 90. Oh, I'm gonna beat 99 games and whatever. But
Yeah, I mean the initial
that,
kind of like skeleton of like the death games, you can only like stretch the credulity so far, but it seems like within that structure, again, it's like the whole
yeah.
kind of her doing Yuki doing the introspection and like going through and seeing these different groups of people. I think that structure itself is
Yeah,
fine.
Yuki's one of the better protagonists you'd want in a death game
Mhm,
to watch because she's pretty pragmatic and whatnot. She's not
mhm.
super heroic, but she will help people.
Mhm.
She is a good person because she will help people, but if you're in her way, she'll cut you down. But yeah, overall 9 out of 10. I will say basically, if you're interested in this, uh, the first, like I said, I've been praising this the whole time. The first episode is the whole kit and caboodle of what this series is like. It's it's literally the strongest episode of this entire series so far that I can point out. It's tight and compact. It doesn't drag on as long as it does compared to the other
Mhm.
episodes. That's a gripe because it's a long ass death game for the other ones. Short, concise. You could call this like an OVA of the entire series if you wanted, and I'd believe you. And yeah, I'll probably be putting this series in my anime of the year for sure. It's pretty good.
All right. Well, again, thank you very much, Toast, for helping to cover this.
Oh, apparently,
I
Days with My Stepsister was also Dean. I see it. I
Okay,
sense a
okay. So it
connection
was
there.
Dean. Okay, interesting. Okay. Um, but yeah, thank you very much for helping to cover
I
Shiboyugi.
guess. Oh, sorry. I'm cheating through the net. I'm cheating through Wikipedia. I will mention that this series is all seriousness and whatnot.
Oh, what?
It's all seriousness. There's no funny ha-has here. We're taking this to the max. Where it's grim dark. It's
Oh, yeah,
macabre.
oh, yeah.
Real,
Mhm.
we're real death games here, my guy. Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, 9 out of 10. I highly recommend this. Probably
Yeah.
the best thing I've watched this season, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah. And again, there are times where
Not
sometimes.
that I did watch a lot of slop this season, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is really good. This is really good.
Yeah, I mean, again, like there are definitely times where sometimes we in the podcast, we take the scores with a grain of salt. But I think with the Shiba Yugi review that you gave us here, I think definitely, at the beginning when we were talking about it in the preview, we were just like, eh, death case, like all right, we're going through this again, kind of business. But I'm glad that it panned out like this.
Yeah, Near.
Again, even if
Near,
you're not necessarily
I stole this from Near, and I was like, damn, Near, you should have watched this. This is right up your alley.
but yeah, even
To
even
be
if
honest,
it's like.
I probably would not have been anywhere near as positive on this as you are. So
But yeah, even if you're not necessarily the biggest fan of, the theme or like the setup, obviously, this sort of the way that this has been animated, the way the visuals are I think something to maybe potentially take a look at this season. So yeah, this was Shibuya playing death games to put food on the table. Light novel original adapted by Studio Dean and under the directorship of Lino Solta. If you like this sort of a setup, more of a somber kind of, uh, I guess, more introspective series, nevertheless, please do check this out.